involved. Says it's 3-star, probably nearer 2. But, you know, we've mixed feelings. We have had a good time. We had a nice day out yesterday in Timisoara. It's, you know, they just didn't do any housekeeping. I think apart from that, and it wasn't the cleanest place, was it? I mean, the room didn't seem that clean. But we're heading off, and, you know, they just didn't change the towels, and they didn't sort out the room really in between the days. And also we only had one toilet paper.
And the tiniest bin possible.
And the tiniest bin possible, and there's no restaurant in the evening. So you kind of got to order stuff in, and then therefore you're going to have more mess in order to get rid of. But, you know, other than that, it was only 30 quid. So 60 quid for 2 nights. We think we might have been slightly overcharged at breakfast, where they basically charge us 22 for a you know, for a, what do you call it, for an orange juice, 22 lei, when the omelettes were 19. Emily, I'm talking. Right, so yeah, it's a bit of a shame. You know, the breakfast ended up being half the price of the night, which is, you know, again, we're not too worried about stuff like that. You know, it is what it is. That's kind of common when we go to hotels now. You end up paying more for the food than the room. But, you know, it overall was a good place, I would say. Wouldn't you, Rach?
Yeah.
Overall, I think we got what we needed from it. It just, if you were staying more than a couple of days, you're probably going to be annoyed about the lack of towels, and that they haven't changed the towels, and that they've only got one toilet roll. So you're going to be probably complaining to them, asking for stuff sooner or later. But no, well, we are sat in the at traffic lights in Timisoara. Unfortunately, it was raining a little bit when we got in the car. We're hoping that it dries up. It's meant to be a nice day, so yeah, so we're just gonna, we're basically pressing on. We've got 8 hours or so drive, so it is going to be a long day again today, sort of similar to our first day, really quite long. So, but it is what it is, you know. We are heading on. We sort of got to go back on ourselves, a bit of a U-turn type thing here, but yeah, it's all fine. We're making our way out. It's quiet this morning, Saturday morning in Timisoara, so not very busy, I don't think, at this time. Yesterday was Friday. It was really nice, wasn't it? We had a nice day out. But yeah, we're heading on. I think we're going to try and find fuel, actually. So if we see a fuel place on the way, I didn't really think about that. We're just getting back into travel mode, because we basically had a whole day off, which is nice to do. We don't normally do it, actually, or not a lot, or not enough, definitely. And now we've had a nice day off, haven't we, Rach?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, now we've got basically a whole day driving through Romania, and should be some nice scenery, some nice roads. Yeah, it's definitely a good place for driving, isn't it, Romania? I quite like it. And sometimes you get stuck behind a truck, but yeah, I it's one of my favourite countries, Romania, wouldn't you say? Yeah, we really like it. This trip has been quite different. We have had a lot of back roads on it. Normally when we come out of Romania, then it's kind of the end of the kind of nice roads, and then you're just onto sheer motorway all the way. But we have had a few diversions and a few things go on the way over. But it has been mostly motorway, I think. But yeah, we're straight on, and we're heading out of the city, let's hope, and onto, I'm guessing we might go onto the A1 this time, and probably going to be on the motorway. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can find a fuel stop on the way out, but we're heading on. decided not to get fuel at the moment in Timisoara. We've got about 230 miles left of fuel, so we're gonna keep going on. Obviously, the downside of this car is that the fueling needs to be done slowly. For some reason, we got a problem with when you put the pump in, it just clicks off straight away if you try and fast fill. So we've got to do it quite slowly. So obviously, when you go down to a lower, like, you know, if you practically empty your tank, it can be quite debilitating trying to fill it back up again. But you know, I've kind of got a knack to it now. I think I know what I'm doing. So yeah, we're just gonna head down the motorway. We're just joining the motorway now, and we're heading down towards Lugoj. So yeah, so we're just gonna crack on and get fuel when we need it. Probably like, I don't know, well, 200 odd miles time. Well, probably a bit less than that. We'll probably do about 100 miles and then get some fuel. But yeah, let's see where we get to. Making our way through Romania. This is something that happens a lot in Romania, which is that you go for ages on a motorway. Well, we weren't on it for very long, but you go for quite a way on a motorway, and then you sort of suddenly get taken onto a back road. And it used to be much more of a problem. It's not so much nowadays, but now we're sort of working our way through the hills. We're basically 15 kilometers where the motorway just stops, and they haven't completed it. And so basically we're going up through hills and villages, and you know, basically on an old road which is quite bumpy and not brilliantly maintained. So yeah, we're kind of making our way through, and yeah, we're getting there. But you know, depending on traffic, this can sort of cause a big problem, because you get stuck behind lorries, and you know, I mean, full-size lorries have to get up this path, you know, to get through. So it's a bit of a pain, but it's kind of part of driving through Romania. And we just looked at the situation for which route we can take back to Bulgaria, and for the past couple of years we've gone through the Transfiguration, which is like, takes you up to the top of a mountain. It's very picturesque, you know, really nice. And we in fact have found it to be quicker than the normal route, which I think also goes through like mountain passes, but we've always found it to be a lot quicker because there wasn't any sort of trucks going that route. Unfortunately, we just checked the weather, and it is snowing, or it had snow yesterday, didn't it, Rach?
Yeah.
On the, yeah, so yesterday was the 26th of April, and it had like a metre of snow. So I mean, it's amazing when you think, like, yesterday we were really hot and sunny in Timisoara. You know, it was well, not hot, but 16, 17 to 18 degrees. Yesterday we sat there not wearing a hoodie for the first time, and yet over in this mountain a metre of snow came down. So Transfiguration isn't open basically, so we can't go that route. So we can't use that route to kind of avoid the big trucks and the traffic. So we've got to kind of press on and go through a place called Ramenicu Valchai. Is that the right spelling?
So,
yeah, right pronunciation. So we're going to go down through there, but actually we haven't been down that route maybe for a couple of years because we just got used to using the Transfiguration. Of course, we drove over through Greece last year, so we didn't come through Romania at all. We only went home through Romania, so back to the UK. So yeah, it's odd. So this time we are actually sort of still at the tail end of bad weather, so the winter time. So although it should be starting to be quite hot now. But yeah, so we're going to have to go the route that we would have gone before we found the Transfiguration. So yeah, we're heading on. The next part will be motorway. We've got to find some fuel. We decided not to get fuel in Timisoara, which may not be the smartest move now. We're going to have to find fuel, and hopefully it'll be cheaper than on the motorway, because on the motorway I've been noticing it's more expensive, so which is pretty common. So let's see if we can find somewhere that's cheap. We've stopped in somewhere, I think it might be Sevesh. We need to get fuel, and basically the oil light has come on to minimum as well. So right, we've got really funny filling on this, so let's see. Basically I'm trying to go nice and slow with it. As you can see, it's going in. Yeah, so it is filling up, so that's good. But I think this is like one of the cheaper stops. Well, not that cheap. 737. It's not too bad. That's the cheapest that we've seen. But we came off the main road, we came off the motorway, and it's going in a bit faster than normal actually, which is weird. Maybe it's because it's so low, but it got down quite low. But also, the oil light came on now, so the oil's at minimum again now. So what we're going to have to do is get fuel, and then we're going to have to stick the remaining 1 litre in, I think, that we've got, and let's see how we get on. I mean, I don't think we will need to put in any more oil on this trip, but it does show that this car is leaking oil more than our original BMW, which used to leak it after quite a while. But basically we've come all the way from just after Tours in France, which is sort of like halfway along our journey in France, all the way to Romania. So we've got quite far, so it's not really drinking oil too bad. But yeah, I'm going to get this filled up. I'm imagining, I can't believe that I haven't like kind of had it click off yet. If I do try and push it, no, see, as soon as I try and do it too fast, it clicks off. So, and in fact, you've got to be very gentle once it starts clicking off. So now it's doing it more and more, so I need to get it I need to get the knack again. Now see, I have to go nice and slow and then build it back up. But yeah, a bit weird. So yeah, so we had the oil. We were kind of expecting the oil like today. We weren't sure if it would happen on the way to Timisoara, but it didn't happen till afterwards. So we got a little while. You know, we got about we got 100 odd or so kilometers after Timisoara, so we didn't do too bad. Anyway, I'm going to get this filled up and then we will have a go at sticking some oil in. Okay, I managed to get the car filled up, but now I've got to stick the 1 litre of oil in. I just got some oil here from Tesco. We're going to be constantly changing it all the time, so by sticking more in, so thought that'd be fine. We brought it on the trip. It was what I grabbed just before we left. So what I'm going to do, I'll just flip the camera down so you can see. The fuel was around about £67 we think, so not too bad. I don't know what that was per litre. Let me just check with Rachel. What was that per litre?
7.37 lei,
£1.26. So about £1.26 a litre. So that's not too bad, is it, really, when you compare it with the UK? And we hadn't filled up since Croatia. And I think this is cheaper than Croatia or on a par with it. So what we're going to do, stick the oil in, basically just use all this oil because there's a 2 litre bottle and I've already used a litre of it, so hopefully that will get us on the way. I mean, it doesn't feel like a lot, so you're not losing tons and tons of oil. You can certainly smell it. Great thing is they tend to sell oil in all the garages on the way. There's the AdBlue area, but we're pretty sure we've got AdBlue. It's not complaining about that. I don't think that's leaking, so that's good. Apparently you can't go anywhere without AdBlue. So this is the first car we've had that's a diesel with AdBlue, so I'm just trying to get the full remnants of this out, make sure it's totally in there. Should be alright. Just get as much of it out as possible. There we go. Hard to grab. Let's hope that we can get all of this out. Just want to get everything in there that we can. But we shouldn't need any more oil once we've done this. There we go. I'm just going to get that, should be alright. Do this back up. It's basically the yeah, so I picked this up from Tesco. Right, so just as we were leaving, really, we didn't really realise we had an oil problem at that point. We were just looking at, I was just being prudent, really. I was just trying to make sure that I had oil for definite, and turns out that I was very smart to buy some. Okay, so that's on there. Just going to stick this in the back. Just going to stick this back in the boot, which will mean me cleaning it. But yeah, basically we should be all set to head back on the road. We are in Sebeş. Rachel checked that out. Basically at a Petrom garage, which seems to be the cheapest garage, Petrom. So yeah, so it's a good spot to stop, I think. And yeah, it looks like there's some sort of cafe or shop across the road as well. So it seemed to be a nice looking little town. Anyway, we're going to pack all this away. I'm going to pack all this away in the boot and then crack on with the journey. KFC in Sebeş. We're now trying to rejoin the A1. We've never been to that place before, so it's all brand new to us. But again, just looking out the window in front, it's got beautiful mountains ahead of us. I mean, I'm guessing every time we went through here before, they just weren't snow-capped like that, maybe. But they're looking pretty good. So yeah, amazing snow-capped mountains, and that's the Fagarash Mountains, and they're the mountains that the Transfagaration goes through. And unfortunately, we won't be going on that today, but it doesn't matter. We're heading through some pretty picturesque place. The only problem is a lot of the picturesqueness of it is sort of destroyed by looking at the back of a massive lorry. So what will probably happen most of the way. It's almost like you've got to try and keep getting around big lorries. So that's, yeah, they don't seem to go on the Transfagaration. So I think they can't go on there maybe. But yeah, beautiful mountains ahead. And yeah, we're just basically now heading on. I don't know if it's looking like it's spitting a little bit of rain potentially. It doesn't look like there's something, but hopefully that will pass pretty quickly, because yeah, we're heading on. And the interesting thing is this part of the road, it's saying that we got 22 kilometers left, whereas normally we'd have come off the road probably roughly where we just did, or not much further, and then you'd have had to have gone on like an older road, which took you into like another part of the mountains. So I'm guessing the lowest part of the mountains that you can get over to the right. But what we're doing is staying on this road. I believe they've created some sort of, they basically extended the motorway quite a bit. Not completely. I mean, this motorway doesn't go all the way to Bucharest or anything, but we will have some. And that's an interesting thing. I wonder if this route is taking us around the ring road or not. Is it not? Maybe Rachel can check that, because sometimes you go straight to Bucharest, there's a ring road around that, but there can be terrible traffic there, so it's usually better to avoid that completely and go on some of the back roads. Yeah, so hopefully, normally it avoids it, so it looks like we are avoiding it. But yeah, look at those mountains, just look amazing. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? They just look so good ahead, and yeah, they're just full of snow. So definitely, we wouldn't be going through those today. Normally, we would have turned off and gone towards them. Well, we have done on the reverse. We've never gone across this route, like forward towards Bulgaria. We've only done it on the way back. But at the moment we're still on the A1, and we're interested to see what bits of the road are new, because we haven't really done this route for a couple of years. So it'll be interesting to see what's improved. And that's one thing about Romania really that I really like, is that you tend to see genuine progress here. You know, it's a country that they're always building stuff. When we were coming across the border, they were doing the road in the little villages and stuff near the border. They were building things. There's loads of kids parks in little like settlements, and it's just very like they're doing things. They're trying to brighten things up. They're trying to improve people's lives. I think there's something about this country that they're making progress, and we're not seeing it as much in Bulgaria, I don't think. The odd shop will open, an old new shop maybe, but it doesn't really ever really take off. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying there aren't some improvements, and maybe it's just the area that we are, but do you know, when we drive through Romania, we're always like, wow, this is really cool. You know, you can almost, you're almost thinking, oh, you know, would it be nice to live here? I don't know. Basically, yeah, this is where we would normally turn off, like for Brasov, I think. Is it? No, that's the way to the Transfagaration. Yeah, so we would turn off there for Transfagaration. But no, just it's always impressed me, Romania. Whenever I've gone through, everybody's really friendly and helpful, and it's always felt like they're trying their best to improve stuff. And you know, everywhere when we've been, you know, every part we've ever been to, it felt like they were genuinely trying to improve things. Do you know what I mean, Rach?
Yeah.
I think that's true, isn't it? I mean, we've just always felt that when we've come here. Yeah, and they always seem to be building things or doing things. You know, look at that KFC we just been in. It's brand new, I think. Never seen it there before. A whole new area there with Kaufland's and Hornback, which I think is like B&Q equivalent. You know, and yeah, some people will say, oh yeah, but that's like new Western things. But you know, at the end of the day, these people want better lives. They want more facilities. They want, you know, stuff. You know, they want to improve their lives. They want to, you know, build things, and they need shops, and you know, all these kind of things. So yeah, it's the, you know, all the fact that they're building these roads is creating jobs, and people are having to do, you know, build the roads and, you know, build the new places that they're building. So everywhere I look, there's always new buildings and things going on. And yeah, I think the government here is genuinely trying to achieve things. That seems quite different to a lot of places. You know, even the UK, I think. You know, you always see things closing down there, not opening up. So yeah, I'm always really impressed with the place, you know, and you know, impressed in general anyway, because of the nice sort of like scenery. I mean, again, these mountains in front, getting closer and closer. I think this is new road, isn't it, Rach? I don't remember seeing this road at all. We've never seen this, have we? Don't think we've ever seen here before. So again, this road, you know, in all the years that we've had the place for like 12 years now, have we? And all the time that we've had the house, we've you know, it wasn't long before we did a road trip across. And when we first came through Romania, you had to keep coming off the road. You kept going back onto the old road. I mean, it were nice roads, no problem, but obviously lots of big trucks. That would always kind of block, you know, the route up and slow it down. And now you're just seeing, like, you know, they are completing motorways. I mean, there's a motorway supposedly going past our area in Targoviste, and nothing seems to be done with it. It's been there for years and years, no improvements whatsoever, never see any work being done. Here, every couple of years, something's new, you know, a new section, something's changed. I'm not saying everywhere, there are some really difficult bits, like where we went through Faget back there. You know, that's harder to bypass, I think. You know, not saying everywhere's improved, but really, you know, we've seen massive changes here, where it used to take like 12 hours or something to get across Romania, and now you can probably do it in like, you know, 6 or 7 hours or something. So they're making big improvements, and it's mobility stuff is happening all the time. And these beautiful mountains, I mean, you've got a really good view of these mountains now. I don't think we've ever had this good a view of them, actually. And so, you know, people would say, oh, motorways are not very good, oh, you don't see anything. Well, you're seeing that out there, so not a problem for me. I like back roads as well, you know, I like both, but it's nice to have the choice, and also to get the lorries onto these roads, so that you could go and enjoy the other back roads, because they're not enjoyable when you're stuck behind a lorry at 50 kilometers an hour or something, you know. You don't make very much progress, and you don't see anything because you're just looking at the back of a lorry. So no, it is progress, despite all what the critics say. And you know, it's not Western, it's normal. It's just progress, it's human progress, do you know what I mean? You know, it's not East or Western, you know, maybe we did it first, maybe we didn't, I don't know, but it doesn't matter, it's just progress in general. Anyway, and there's still other stuff, there's still lots of traditional stuff about, there's no one saying get rid of anything. Anyway, right, so let's head on this road, and I'm really, I don't think we've got much longer on it, so they haven't built much more, but they have got to get through big mountains, you know, so it is hard. I imagine they're going to have to build tunnels through it, like in Switzerland, so they're doing the bits that are doable. Anyway, we're heading on, we have enough fuel, we think, till Rousset, and And yeah, we're going to have some lovely scenery through the mountains soon, I think. We just stopped just outside Pitești. Everything's going well, car's all fine and everything. Just wanted to check the camera, because when you're driving and the camera's outside like we've got here, often you can get a lot of sort of like flies and stuff get on it. I used to put it on in the inside, but then you don't get as nice a view. So it is better to have it on the outside of the car, because you know, when you see those sort of nice driving videos through Switzerland and stuff, this is what they're doing. They're basically, you know, running it outside. But yeah, car's going all right, I think. Still, yeah, we've had the odd error warning, like drivetrain again, I think, but it's doing what it's meant to be doing. It doesn't really ever stop or give us any problems, so we carry on. We've got our power bank on the roof, so you can see like how we power the camera. So it's like a 20,000 milliamp battery pack, so that basically powers up the camera, and that should keep it going pretty much all day. The only thing that can run out really is the SD card, so you've got to keep an eye on that. We used to have a sunroof. We don't have a sunroof on this one, so it's not as easy to see what's going on with the camera. Before we could see the light flashing, although last time we didn't have the sort of like wind muff on it. Got a wind muff on it at this time. We're going to see what just want to see whether the footage will sound better outside the car. Normally we just don't have the sound, but anyway, we're all ready to rock on, are we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, everybody back in the car, everybody's happy, flies are circling around it.
She's happy now. She's
Yeah,
got a spoon now.
everybody's happy, yeah. So what did you do? Did you take the cereal box? Oh, she's got it.
No.
I was going to say I was going to chuck that in the bin. Right, let's crack on then, I guess. So yep, we're going to head on. We're about like 2 hours or so from the border, I think. We're going to be coming off the motorway again soon and going on back roads, because we want to avoid Bucharest. There's a ring road round, but it's very slow. Lots of like kind of intersections where people, you know, have to cross, and that makes it really slow. So we go round and down and try and head towards Georgiu, which is on the border. Georgiu? Yeah, we head for Georgiu, which is on the border with Russia, in Bulgaria. You know, Georgiu's in Romania, Russia's in Bulgaria, and we go across the Friendship Bridge, which never feels that friendly, mainly because the border's really busy and long. Anyway, so we're going to be heading on. Hopefully we won't have any slowdowns or any problems at the border. We are back in Bulgaria. We're in Rusay, and I am going to... We've basically parked up in the Kaufland car park. That's our favourite car park. And I'm going to go over to Lidl and get some stuff for the evening, because we usually turn up and we haven't got anything. And obviously everything that was left is not any good anymore. Not that we leave that much, but yeah, so we always turn up with nothing and then have to wait the next day to go and sort everything out. So I'm just going to go and get some stuff for the evening, just to make sure. I made sure to get some Romanian beers before I left Romania as well, just in the garage where we were at before, because you can't, I don't think you really get Romanian beers here, and they're not too bad, so this is pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to go into Lidl and see what I can get. I don't really have an idea what I'm getting actually, but it's nice to be back. Nice sort of like breeze, nice warmish weather. You know, it's just actually something decent for once, rather than rain all the time. So yeah, really enjoying being back actually. So yeah, gonna grab some supplies and then I shall crack back on the road again. This is probably the last video, because we're now in Bulgaria. We've got the supplies in Rusay and we're heading back to home. And you know, it's been a long trip, and there were bits where, you know, I think even an hour into the trip we didn't think we were carrying on, really, did we?
No.
There was a moment where that drivetrain message came on and I just thought, yeah, I've watched this film before, I know how it ends, we'll probably break down. And there was a serious moment where we thought about turning around, and we were like, well, do we just turn around again? You know, is that the best thing to do? You know, just see what that problem is. But if we had it done, we wouldn't be here now. We wouldn't have had maybe 4 or 5 actually glorious days of rain. We're in Italy and Slovenia. It was absolutely tipping down all the way. But once we got into Croatia, we saw a little bit better weather, maybe not so much in Zagreb on the day out. But since we've been back in sort of like Hungary and Romania, the weather really picked up, so that's one good thing. And so now it's feeling quite nice outside. It's saying it's about 18 degrees. It's now 10 past 7 in the evening, so you know, 18 degrees is pretty good for that time, and it's only the end of April, I think April the 27th. So yeah, so now we are, you know, heading back. Oh, we got a vignette as well, we had to quickly buy that before we got into Bulgaria, because we always seem to remember everywhere else's vignette, but we always not sure whether to get the Bulgarian one before we get there. Anyway, we've got it, and it's all set, and we got a quarterly one, which I think is 3 months, so that's good. So we've got 3 months worth of driving. Hopefully we'll be doing some nice videos, going to different places and seeing different things again all throughout the summer, so it should be good fun, shouldn't it? And but yeah, we're not sure what the total cost of the trip has been yet. I expect we will be putting it up on the video at the end and showing it as we're playing the outro, if you like, what the total fuel was, what the total food cost, if we can work that out, was, hotels, apartments, everything. I'm not expecting it to be too cheap. I'm sure I've been constantly transferring money from my main bank account into my sort of like currency account. You know, we use Starling to automatically change currencies. It's well worth getting a Starling or Revolut card, because that can save you a lot of money on fees. I mean, God knows how much it would have cost if we were just using our card everywhere with normal UK bank cards. That would cost an absolute fortune. Chloe's going crazy. Everyone sort of can't wait to get back now. But yeah, we've had a great trip, really. I mean, it's been a bit nerve-wracking with the car oil issues, or is it an oil issue? I mean, I looked it up and some people said that this car drinks oil. I mean, it's a 3-litre twin turbo diesel engine. So does it drink that much oil over 2,000 odd kilometers? I mean, we worked out that it had drunk a litre in 2,400 kilometers, we think. So I mean, if you know, put in the comments if that sounds excessive to you. I think it does. I'm pretty sure our previous E70 didn't, and that was a 4.8 litre petrol engine, and that did drink oil, but it certainly didn't drink as much as that. And we were almost certain that had an oil leak. There's still some of it on our driveway, so pretty sure that was an oil leak. Never seen any oil from this, so that's the strange thing. So anyway, we're heading down the road, trying to get back. Car's actually was behaving a little bit weirdly then. I was thinking, oh no, just as we're going down the road to home, the thing probably will give in. I mean, it can happen, can't it? You could literally get within a mile or something of the house and then it could give in. But now what we'll do is we'll try and put up the well, we'll obviously let you know if you see an outro after this, then you know that we didn't break down, and hopefully we can show you the total cost, because I know somebody asked in the comments whether we could kind of do that. We kind of show the running costs as we're going along, but it would be very good, I suppose, to show a total cost. It is hard to do it, Chloe, it is hard to do it in the video because we're not really aware of everything at the moment. It's hard to keep track, or certainly we haven't tried to keep track completely. Although Rachel has been writing it down, haven't you?
Yeah.
But I don't think you've been totaling it up, have you?
Not yet.
No. So we'll put it in the outro. You should be able to see what it was and what all the total cost, vignettes, well, I'll try and put everything I can. But there is a lot of components to a trip like this. It isn't the cheapest way to travel, certainly. But you have to imagine that when we come over, we're here for a long time, and we need our car with us, we need everything with us, and we have tried leaving cars before, and that gets quite difficult because you've got to do all the kind of MOTs and messing around with keeping all the registrations up to date and stuff, and also keeping the car moving. They don't like being sat around for ages, really. So we've always found that the best way is just to take our car with us. It's much simpler just to keep UK registration, and we're going back and forward. So yeah, that always seems to be the best for us. I mean, other people do have locally registered cars. We've had ours before registered locally, so it's not impossible, but yeah, we prefer to do it this way now. We've learned the way to do it just from the amount of years we've been here doing it, really. Anyway, we are heading home, and this will probably be it.